Okay, we have a lot to cover. Welcome back to JMC Live. I'm your host, Jeremy Caverley. We do this every Tuesday night from Whoa. Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. We had problems with the audio tonight. We've had problems with everything tonight, but I have a lot to cover. The show's going to go probably an hour and a half, and then we're going to do an after show. And I promise, everyone that wants to call in will be able to call in either during the show or during the after show. I'll throw up the number for you guys so you can write it down. And
just don't get nothing on the camera. You're just going to throw up.
So, the crazy thing that's happening next, I'm going to have to give you guys a lesson. And this is why I said this is going to take a while. You can probably put those away. Now you got the number. Now I'm going to give you a second history lesson. Normally I don't do this, but apparently people don't seem to understand. If I can type. I think I spelled it back in there. We're going to talk about Marxism tonight. And it's something very relevant today. And I'm going to share with you as why I'm bringing this up. And I'm not going to sit here and do a forever long thing about Marxism. The one thing that Marxism had, there was two compelling reasons to abolish religion and promote atheism. First, it was his materialism to deny the existence of a supernatural, and second, the very structure of organized religion had, through the ages, condoned and supported the bourgeois suppression of the proletariat. The thing is with Marxism, it's not just politics and economics. Marxism is a worldview. It's a way of looking at and explaining the whole encompassment of who and what you are. The name of Karl Marx, is best known as a political or economic system. He really didn't make a lot of difference in societies through the different things that he did in the way he lived, but it was his system of a thought, of a process. And in the last 100 years, a tremendous amount of people, all this influence on governments, the two largest governments at that time, Russia and China and the United States, claim, most importantly, Russia and China claim that Karl Marx is like an ideological father. His ideas have been going on for years and years and years. He was born in Trier, an ancient city in Germany in Rhineland, sometimes claimed by France, known as Trever. His ancestors were Jewish, both on his mother and father's sides. They were rabbis. His father, Hendrik, converted to Protestantism in 1816 and 1817. He continued to practice law in the Prussian edict denying Jews in order for continuing to practice. He was born in 1818 and baptized in 1824. His mother, Henriette, did not convert until 1825 when he was 7. He went to school from 1830 to 1835. He went to college, Bonn University, 1835 to 1836. And he worked on his doctrine at Berlin in 1836 to 41. He wrote a doctrinal dissertation, which was philosophy style, titled The Difference Between Democritian and Epicurean Philosophy of Nature. It was accepted by Jena University. He professed atheism and his radical views, that it was such a statement in his life that in 1842 he became the editor at Rensit, which was said to be a business periodical. However, this publication had a strong radical political view, more towards atheism, more towards communism, socialism. And the year was 1843. He's 25 years old. He met Friedrich Engels, became his best friend, benefactor, and collaborator, philosophy and political soulmate. He married Jenny von Westphalen, a baroness to whom he was devoted. And it was through this, and it wasn't really specific on whether it was an anti-Semitic thing or it was just a whole a whole crazy thing that was going on. But the thing is, the reason why I'm giving you this background on Marxism is there's a U.S. attorney who compared President Obama to the Marxist Doctrine. In fact, he submitted this letter to Canadian Free Press, of all places. And I'm going to get into that here in a second. But I wanted you guys to understand that Marxism is an attack on Christianity. It's an attack on pretty much almost any religion. And what it is, it's about control. It's about control of politics and economic structure. I'm not going to get into the Eric Holder thing. I'm not going to go too deep. I'm just going to focus, you know, on the light edge of Marxism, just enough to get you interested where you might want to find out more. But for those guys that are really interested, we do have an Eternal Flame News article that covers this. And I'm going to go right into it. It is a breaking news article, but it is an Eternal Flame News article. And it was written by Kelly O'Connell. He's a, to give you a background on the man, he's been all over, and he's now in New Mexico as a U.S. attorney. So, so this guy actually has an understanding of what he's talking about. He says he's been watching Obama's economic recovery strategy, and he's doing this hand over fist to heal, to control an economic, you know, rampant deficits. And it's like, he says, it's like a classic Marxism seeking to fix a broken society via torching the economy to ashes, which meaning spend more money, spend more money, spend more money, you know, cut this, cut that, try and do that. And it's a form of socialism, communism mix along with the Marxism, because it all, you know, more religious freedoms seem to be attacked, as I talked about earlier, in Arizona and you know, California and all these other states. You know, so much stuff's going on. Either you can't worship, now they're having, you know, gays and lesbians getting married, now they're having all these other things happening. There's like, because there's an economic crisis, all these different people are trying to fight for power. He ends up saying even more into it. What is his other plans? You know, I mean, he makes fun of Joel the plumber. He's fighting all sorts of different people, but the whole thing is the whole fight between what is Obama's plan here? I mean, the more money being spent, the more time and efforts on trying to stimulate an economy, when honestly a government can't really stimulate the economy unless you are a Marxist, socialist, communist country. You can't tell me to go make 1 million cars if 1 million people don't want 1 million cars. It just doesn't happen. If you don't have the money for it, you can't do it. I mean, this is all about greed too. You know, our country is so full of greed right now. Everyone keeps wanting a pay raise. Everyone keeps wanting more of this. Everyone wants all these different things. Look at Ezekiel 11:12. This is Ezekiel 11:12. And I'll type it in the chat. Ezekiel 11:12. You will know that I am the Lord, for you have not followed my decrees or kept my laws, but have conformed to the standards of the nations around you. We're going to take a break, and we will return with more of trying to bring Christ back to America.